How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League. I'm your very, 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 very best friend, Gallium, and I am here joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Chunkalate. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Happy to cast again with you, like we did on Monday.
Yeah, that was an amazing cast. I had a lot of fun, and let's not keep, let's keep the party going a little bit, Chunk. We have a rival league matchup. We're taking a little bit of a step up from last time, and I'm excited about this matchup, Chunk. Anything you can tell us about both these teams?
Well, Thunderbirds are coming off a Game 5 loss against Knights, but they got 2 wins last week, and Milky got Player of the Week, so don't count them out. And on the other side, we have we have the great legends, and they beat the Pineapples.
Wow.
And that would be, yeah, they beat the Pineapples, so the Mafiosos with the Juicy Leaf Lane and Xeroxa. Incredible win to come off. Got great momentum going into this game, I'd say.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Chunk. As the Pineapples easily in my top three in rivals, so it's very surprising that they beat them. And whether or not you think is kind of a fluke because Flip was there or not, it's still an impressive win regardless. Because I feel like Pineapples are very good top to bottom. But regardless of all of that, all right, we have an insane matchup going. We have streamer Crip potentially taking the field. The Thunderbirds were on stream, I want to say like a week ago, but Crip unfortunately was streaming that game, so you know, uh, he gets to finally play with this team. Hopefully, and hopefully they don't have another local sub up. Even though he did win, it'd be nice to have see the Thunderbirds' true power here against this powerhouse of mafiosos.
Yeah, 100%. You don't want to be subbing up your players every week, especially when it comes playoff time, since you cannot sub up your players in those playoff games. So it is important to get that team chem in that regular season.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to, play local in playoffs. I don't know if that's like a rule that you can't like sub up in playoffs, but regardless, we have everyone in the lobby in Chunklite. I mean, you're the Prophet Chunklite. Everyone knows you as Prophet Chunklite, even though I just made that up. Who you got taking this series?
I like the Mafiosos here. I think they're coming off that momentum, like you said, and I think that great momentum they had. They may have been missing one of their players, so I feel like everyone's got their whole roster today. We're gonna see the full strength, so I would say Mafioso's 3-1 in my prediction.
You know what? That's not a bad prediction, but I'm gonna actually go the other way. Obviously I haven't seen Crip play recently, but Milky's been playing out of his mind, and I will say Arc B-Ball, one of my favorite to watch. He doesn't wow you with his mechanics, but he just is such a solid player and a very deadly shooter, as we might see one here. A nice pass to Milky. Milky, zero boost, unable to grab that one. Juicy Leaf rocking the Dominus today, and Crip is rocking. What is that? I have no clue what car that is, Chunk.
I'm not sure either. It kind of looks like the Back to the Future mobile, but I am not sure. I'm not familiar with cars in this game, but if it helps him win this game, all props to him.
Yeah, 100%. The cars are basically just purely cosmetic. It's whatever makes you feel good. Is Crip over to Milky? This could be dangerous. Back out to Crip, but Xeroxa and Landon gonna get a beautiful save there. Xeroxa gonna try to get it past Arc Ball. Now Juicy Leaf up with it to Xeroxa over to Landon. A nice little passing play for the Mafiosos. Sands is probably really proud of this squad because Mafiosos haven't really, in my experience, haven't been near the top of rival in a minute. And I feel like they could get to that point if they win today and just keep on winning, because this is a very good roster. I looked at the players and I was like, wait, how have they been losing games? Because Juicy Leaf is nuts, Landon's nuts, and even though I'm unfamiliar with Xeroxa, he's been playing very well this season. So, I'm just excited to see both rosters really having full strength, going back and forth as Landon gonna get a nice save, his first of the match. Oh my goodness, almost a double tap, but he cannot find the back of the net. Landon going to turn on this one. He's going to 50 out Crip, and Crip is going to win that one. Milky gets 50, but it's over to Arc Ball, who's going to send it down the pitch, and Crip or Milky is going to be there to recover it. The ball's popped up. Zaraxa has some time. He's going to use his boost and not be able to make contact with that one. Arc Ball going to be up with it. He's unable to shoot it on target. And both these teams, it's halfway through this match, and both these teams have 3 shots apiece. It's not a very high offense game, and it's still scoreless here, Chunklate. What does a team have to do to break through?
So far, it's been a battle of the midfields, I'd say, with little shots coming out. I like the passing play that this Mafiosos team had earlier. If they could do that and maybe strike a little quicker than they did in the first one, I think that could lead to great opportunities for the Mafiosos to take this game.
And I feel like we've seen on stream, or I have personally, a lot of teams who are very good in the offensive zone, just like doing everything right, but just can't put it in the back of the net. And I feel like those teams are the most frustrating to watch. I love everyone in Nemesis, but those teams really just frustrate me because it's like all you need to do is slot it in the back of the net, but unfortunately they cannot. And both these teams are, they're generating chances, but I wouldn't call them grade A chances right now. So they're both going back and forth, maybe getting those stream jitters off as Roxa gives it to Milky. Milky now with the ball, has to get past Juicy Leaf and almost does. Crip now shooting it bottom left. He can't double that one. Arc Ball now sends it high. Juicy Leaf gonna retrieve that one, and Milky sends it back to Crip, who gets cut by Zaraxa. Now the ball's floating above the Thunderbirds net. Juicy Leaf gonna pop it high, and Crip easily getting that one. Landon, last one back. He's gonna have to defend, and he does well, but Milky is gonna shoot that one. What a save by Juicy Leaf. Just barely got to that one.
Yeah, 100%. It looked like they may have broke this standstill game we have right there with that shot, but we still are at 0-0. Very passive game so far. I'd like to see more of these teams work together.
Chunk, they just don't have the Chunk and Galleon connection. We work together like berries and cream. As, we have almost 30 seconds left in this match, and neither team can really find a goal. Zaraxa and the Mafiosos playing exceptional defense, but they're going to have to get a shot on target at least, as here comes one. Arc, a great save of his own. Defensive masterclass from both sides. Arc gonna hopefully take this ball, but Milky gonna get 50 out by his own teammate. Zaraxa can't find it, gets a decent 50. Now Milky, off the ceiling it goes. Juicy Leaf gonna leave it for Landon. Landon with 10 seconds left. Can he get another? Maybe a bump. Arc gonna send it out. Can someone make contact? Zaraxa off the backboard. Milky's up. He gets a nice touch. Can anyone find the shot? Landon, it goes past him. Now the ball's floating towards the Mafioso's end, and it's gonna drop. And we have overtime. And Chunk, I know we haven't seen a whole lot of offense here, but I mean, is there any team do you think that's going to break through?
I've seen a lot of these shots come close on the side of Thunderbirds. They've gotten like to the point where it's a 1v1. As an own goal comes out, and Crip will get the goal credit on this one. Just a missed play by Landon here, as he unfortunately will own goal, which will cost him a lot early on the series, but nothing they can't come back from.
As great of a player as Landon is, this is just a lesson to everyone. No matter how good you are, everyone makes mistakes, and especially in Rocket League, and especially on stream, as a big one going to cost the Mafiosos there. Thunderbirds up 1-0, and honestly, I felt like they were the better team overall. They definitely had more chances. It felt like they were going to score multiple times. It was just the Mafiosos defense was just keeping them alive. Zaraxa had a great defensive performance. He had 3 saves. So I'm just looking for more offense from Mafiosos. You can't sit back, idly and let the Thunderbirds do what they want, because I mean that tandem, they're great at just pounding the net and hopefully sneaking one through. And they're gonna sneak one through every game if you're just gonna sit back and allow that to happen.
Yeah, one of those games where where either team really didn't get a goal. The game's gonna end though when someone does find that goal. Though this felt like it could go on forever. Just a key mistake really decided that game in game 1, and I'd like to see if more uncharacteristic mistakes can come out, and who can capitalize from either of these teams.
Yeah, it doesn't appear too much in the rival league, or sorry, in the higher leagues. It doesn't appear as much. The mistakes are few and far between, because as you get up in the leagues, you're more consistent. But whoever can make the least amount of mistakes usually wins the game. As here's one, but Milky gonna save it. Crip gonna give him a friendly bump, and now Arc Ball, beautiful clear from him, backed into a corner, and he takes one through. But wait, Arc's gonna miss that touch. Landon gonna corral the ball. It's off the sidewall. Xeroxa with a shot, but another great save. Crip on the goal line, and it seems like Mafiosos just can't catch a break here.
Yeah, it looks like they have cleaned up their offensive attacks, and maybe with a big demo coming out, maybe it can clear up some counterplay for them. Get the first one on the board, and maybe they'll start coming more frequently.
You know, that's that would be ideal, I think, for actually both of these teams. Just wait a second, a nice bang for Arc Ball. He's gonna find the touch there. Juicy Leaf in the Fennec, gonna get demoed out by Milky. Xeroxa gonna fake out Milky. Now it's a 1v1 between Crip and Xeroxa. Landon almost there to read it, but he has 0 boost to do a whole lot. Crip sending it high. Juicy Leaf gonna be there to meet him there. Crip trying to beat out Xeroxa, gets the demo for his troubles. Arc B-Ball now gonna corral the ball, get a nice 50, and now it's Milky and Crip in a 2v1. Xeroxa, fake challenge. It works beautifully as he's now gonna have control, but Milky bumps him off. Crip now, it's in the midfield. Landon gonna send it into the back of the net, and that's gonna be the Mafiosos' first goal of the game.
Beautiful counterattack here. They just caught them all up too far as Milky was in the corner and just bangs it past them. Those quick team plays are very deadly, even up here in the rival league.
Yeah, if you can catch the defense lacking, I mean, why not just, like, absolutely send one to the back of the net? As, you know what? The Mafiosos get a goal from that, and they've had all the pressure so far. 3 shots to Thunderbirds and now 1 shot. So it seems like the script has finally flipped. Landon now up with it. Can Arc get to it? Landon almost found the back of the net. Arc was just a little too slow, but wait, Crip gonna send it down. Juicy Leaf has to race back for it. A little scary there. They almost just pulled a reverse on the Mafiosos.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught too far as Crip slots one down off crossbar. Like I was saying, you do not want to get caught too far up on these offensive attacks, as quick counterattacks can come from them, as Crip will just get one right through the defense of the Mafiosos, tying up the game.
That was an insane shot from Crip. You know, he hasn't really made that much ruckus in the series. He's been mainly playing on the defensive side, just trying to facilitate for his teammates as well. But you could just see the raw score as Xeroxa actually just gonna put one in the back of the net. I think there's a couple misses there.
Yeah, I saw Landon up there kind of making a ruckus. I don't know if anyone could have got back, but if anyone did, 100% I could see Landon getting a bump, redirecting the ball, making a play on it. Just hard for them, but he wasn't needed. Xeroxa just slots the ball beautifully into the bottom right of the net.
Just trying to farm points so you can get higher in fantasy. No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. As Arc gonna take this one. I'm gonna get it past the defense, but Landon gonna stand strong. Juicy Leaf up with it with a lot of boost. Can he double this? And who are you? I'm kidding, bro. Of course he could double that.
Yeah, beautiful connection from Landon to Juicy Leaf. We saw it earlier with the quick counterattack, but Crip just can't get up to the backboard, and if there's a free backboard in rival, almost always going to be a goal.
Yeah, Juicy Leaf, absolutely stellar player. We're seeing it now. Xeroxa going to try to send one in the back of the net. Arc going to barely get back to this one, and Mafiosos just dominating in this game too so far. Crip up with it, can't find a good enough touch. Juicy Leaf back the other way, going to bang it. Milky with 0 boost. 50's out. Juicy Leaf, now a shot coming out. Crip going to save it away. Crip going to continue this one, but he misses the ball. What I've noticed from the Thunderbirds is just a lot of misses coming from their side.
Yeah, uncharacteristic mistakes. Like we were saying earlier about the mistakes, they don't come very often, but when they do come, they make a world of difference, especially when you don't expect them to make these mistakes, and they often lead to quick goals and other opportunities for each of these teams.
You know, I love opportunities because that means a free goal for Gallium, you know. As Arc Ball gonna send it off the ceiling. Xeroxa gonna get absolutely smoked by Arc Ball, but he's gonna be slow back. Crip with a full tank of boost off the ceiling, the ball goes, but Juicy Leaf gonna corral that one, and he gets exploded for his troubles. And Xeroxa explodes Milky right back. Xeroxa with a nice pass. Landon can't find the touch he needed, and now there's only one player back. Zaraxa has to beat this entire Thunderbirds team, and he's successful. Milky now gonna corral this one. Zaraxa gonna 50 him out, and now Crip sends it over. Landon gonna get a nice touch. Can he find the demo? Wait, a little bit of some raids happening in front of the net there. Both sides can't find the touch. Landon sending it down. Juicy leap. Can he double this one? He does, but not on target. And I almost thought he had that one. It was a little scary, but Landon gonna send it to the side. Crip, can he get the demo? No, just barely off. The Thunderbirds are relying on these demos to hopefully get a goal. He shoots it low. Zaraxa, amazing save coming out from him. Very heads up play. Milky now with one. Gonna get a second, maybe a demo arc ball. Can't find the back of the net. Crip now cannot get the double, and now it's Milky's turn. But wait a second, he gives the Mafiosos another free goal.
Yeah, it's getting to that end of the game point where you need to send the house. He just got caught with no boost, and Zaraxa able to capitalize and most likely put away this game to tie up the series.
Massive play, and a very big blunder from this Thunderbirds team. I know we mentioned it at the beginning of this game too, but you know, whoever makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win. And it seems as though the Mafiosos, I don't think I saw a single mistake from them. They just looked flawless. They executed their game plan to perfection. They just started playing their way. You know, they didn't conform to the Thunderbirds. They weren't, you know, sitting on their heels. They just started to play their game, which I think is very heavily, it's a lot of bang ball from the Mafiosos. They just try to get into the Thunderbirds zone and make something happen with it. And, you know, if you can make it work, it seems to work for this Mafioso squad, as Juicy Leaf with 1 goal, 2 assists, and 3 saves. He had himself an absolute performance.
Yeah, 100%. Two of these members on the Mafiosos are top 5 in saves in the rival league, so expect them to be saving every ball that comes their way on that stat sheet. But I like the great team plays that the Mafiosos had. It really looked like they cleaned up their offense and got great opportunities that they just capitalized on.
Yeah, you know, and capitalizing on opportunities is the name of the game, right? Because you have to take those any way you can get them, because they could potentially win you games. And I mean, the Mafiosos, I don't think they really needed 1 or 2 of those, because they won pretty comfortably. As we have a little bit of some confusion in the lobby right now. But while we have a second here, Chunk Light, I know the Thunderbirds looked really good in game 1, but game 2 seems like they kind of lost their stride. Any words of advice for this Thunderbirds team, who seems to be really struggling in the offensive half?
I saw some demo plays come out on them. I would like to see them try to go for demo plays, maybe clear up the field. Because all these shots, when they shoot, almost always there's only one last back. You get rid of that man, open net.
As you know, Thunderbirds have been trying to go for some demos, especially towards the last half of that game too. So we'll see if they make that more of their game plan this time. As Ark gonna send it in the midfield. Juicy Leap with 60 boost. He's gonna go up with it. Flip reset, gets it in the back of the net, and Juicy Leap, another insane goal.
Yeah, what a shot from Juicy Leaf. Had a great opportunity. Got the flip reset with 0 boost. They had Crip last back. Couldn't make a play on it. Absolutely phenomenal shot coming from Juicy Leaf.
Yeah, and you know, one player who doesn't have any stream nerves definitely got to be Juicy Leaf. He's made a lot of deep playoff runs, so he's used to being on stream. He's used to the pressure, and you just saw he was as cool as a cucumber there, just put it in the back of the net. But wait a second, the ball's floating dangerously, landed with a shot, and it's going to get saved away, but it's a dangerous rebound. Juicy Leap with the freest goal of his life, and it's 2-0 Mafiosos.
He just got too early. He could be looking for that hat trick. Just a miscommunication coming out from the Thunderbirds. 2 of them commit, and the rebound by Juicy just puts it in easily to put them up 2-0 and the commanding lead in this game 3.
You know, Landon is playing such an exceptional first-man role. I don't know if that's what he was going for, but for this team, he's really getting into the Thunderbirds zone and facilitating for his squad. You just see a bunch of chances being generated from that man, and you know, he doesn't get a lot of credit, especially on the score sheet, but he's doing a lot for his team. As a pass coming out, Milky barely saving it away, and Zaraxa himself has been doing really great in this third man. But wait a second, a little bit of a blunder coming out, and this one slips in the back of the net. Milky gets one for the road.
Yeah, a lot of these saves are coming in at the very end, but the ball just sneaks through and finds a way at 13 miles per hour Just a really slow shot. But if it goes in, it goes in, Gallium.
That should be my motto. You know, that should have been my senior quote, Chunklight. You had to say that now. Come on now. That's a little mean. As Arc Ball gonna go up with it. Arc Ball cannot find more than that. Crypt now with one touch. He's off the ceiling, but he has no boost. Zaraxa and Landon 2v1 Arc Ball, an easy save from him. But wait a second, a little bit of miscommunication from the Mafiosos might open up a lane from the Thunderbirds. Arc Ball gonna miss his touch. Now Milky sends it over to Arc Ball. He's going to have to turn for this. Grabs the boost. He is on the backboard. He gets one. Can't find the bump. Juicy Leap down to Crip. He has 0 boost. Crip, the GM of the Atrium. Can he get a goal to even up this game 3 as Milky seems to be AFK? Maybe some internet issues. I'm not sure what's happening. A 3v2. Can Mafiosos capitalize on this? It seems like they might be able to, as Landon out to Juicy Leaf. He gets a nice 50. And Arc Ball and Crip went from playing 3s to 2s. We'll see if they can hold for their teammate to get back, as he's still AFK. Landon off the ceiling. He gets a touch. Now Juicy Leaf with a full take of boost versus Milky and Crip, who Milky has finally come back, but at the wrong time because Juicy Leaf puts it on his dome.
Yeah, I was talking about that hat trick since he got too early. He finds it here with another flip reset, the second flip reset of the game. Just another phenomenal goal, as he has 500 points at halfway mark in this game.
That's ridiculous. And you want to know how many points his teammates have? 84 and 48. So, you know, they have been helping out, though. Don't let that scoreboard fool you. You know, they've been doing everything they can to get Juicy Leaf opportunities to succeed, and he's succeeding as Milky yet again is AFK. He's finally back. Maybe a controller issue on his end. He gets a touch. Now Crip can't find the 50. Arc Ball gonna get a touch himself. It's off the backboard. Never mind. Zaraxa pre-jumped that one. Juicy Leaf with a little bit of some momentum can't find the next touch. Landon off the backboard. Can someone from the Mafiosos find the back of the net? Landon, though, with a perfect top left shot, and I just got chills.
Yeah, absolutely perfect placement. Finds a rebound after his teammate collides with Arc B-Ball. And absolutely phenomenal play. I think Milky is having those Wi-Fi issues, but if the Thunderbirds want to win, he's got to step up. Getting Player of the Week last week, I think he is this catalyst to this team this season.
It seems as though the Thunderbirds are begging for mercy. They're like the French, you know, they're throwing up the white flag, but I don't think that's within the Nemesis parameters to just forfeit. So they're going to have to play this one out, you know, get some good warm-up minutes in, as Crip is going to put one in the back of the net. Maybe some life here.
Yeah, maybe if the Wi-Fi issues like cut out here, they can get back into this game. 100%. Everyone committed on that ball. Crip just gets a great 50 into the net.
Yeah, and I know Local was a part of this Thunderbirds squad last week when he was on stream. He's a very great player in his own right. I wonder if they're going to potentially think about subbing him in. I don't know if he has a match right now, but maybe something has to change for this Thunderbirds squad to find some life, as Milky sends it over. Crip can't turn for that one, and now it's Zaraxa and Juicy Leaf double commit, but a beautiful pinch coming out. Crip is back to get that one. It's up. Landon gonna beat out Milky, and he gets a touchdown to Juicy Leaf. Juicy Leaf off the sidewall. Can he get another? Yes, he does. And now Zaraxa racing for that one. He bumps Arc Ball instead of the actual ball. Landon gonna get a nice 50. Crip over to Milky, but just barely wide. And with a little over a minute left, both these teams still fighting to the bitter end, as the Thunderbirds need 2 goals to equalize this game and potentially send it to overtime.
Yeah, 100%. This in overtime here, after the big Milky disconnect through Zaraxa scores the goal. He just sneaks it by the last person. Zaraxa, just a great goal right over Milky, who backflips. I don't know if that's the Wi-Fi issues, but I think that will put it away for this game. What would you say, Gallium?
You know what, I would tend to agree. You know, seems as though the Mafiosos, I think honestly, regardless of the internet issues, they just have looked like the better team in the past 2 games. So a great, oh my goodness, almost a great shot from Arcfall. But honestly, they've been putting on a show. Each member of the Mafiosos have 4 shots each. which is insane. You know, they're combining for 12 shots as a team, which is ridiculous. Now Juicy Leaf with the full tank of boost versus Crip. And, you know, are we even surprised at this point? Juicy Leaf gets his 4th of the game.
Crip begging for mercy after he gets another flip reset on his head. Juicy Leaf's 3rd flip reset. He's up to 700. Absolutely phenomenal game.
You know, never have I ever seen someone beg for mercy in a Nemesis game. But you know what? Crip, you know, you're down in the history books. As oh no, oh
Oh
oh no, that's
no.
actually disgusting. That's actually disgusting. Chunk, I don't think I want to cast anymore. I gotta go throw up.
Yeah, there's stat padding here as I'm pretty sure Art Ball was AFK. They'll get a cheeky quick goal here with 10 seconds left. Let's see if they can stuff some more stats if they want it here, but I would look forward to them ending this game off so we can go on to our game 4.
You know, well, let's hope in this game 4 we don't have any surrendering from either side, as Mafiosos up 2-1 in the series. Very convincing game 3. I believe they might reset the servers because Milky was having some internet issues. So hopefully there's no more excuses for this Thunderbird squad, who have not really looked the best, in my opinion. I don't think they've really looked complete. Even that game 1, they won 1-0 in overtime to kind of a little bit of an interesting goal. So I don't know. They haven't really wowed me in this game. And honestly, I thought they looked better on stream with local.
Yeah, I like the point you made with the goal in the first game. That goal came off of a mistake, and just seems like they can't get a lot of that offense. A lot of the time in the last game where they did score goals, it was just kind of a dead game at that point. I would like to see them get some important goals in the next game.
Yeah, I understand. As you know what? I think the Thunderbirds can do it. You know, Crip hopefully just encouraging his team, um, trying to get them back on their feet after that tough game 3 loss. Hopefully, the Thunderbirds can extend this to a game 5, but we're gonna have to see, as Mafiosos and Thunderbirds almost back at it. As wait a second, you want to know who's just joined this lobby? Chunklight, can you take a wild guess?
Is it local?
It, in fact, is local. He's subbing in for Milky with the internet issues. And now, local, he needs to be the catalyst for this Thunderbird squad. Can they get a comeback now that he's on the pitch? We're about to find out in 5 minutes. As Arcball gonna get it past one. Local with a demo and already making a difference as Arc B-Ball 22 gonna put in his first of the series.
Yeah, good kickoff going their way. Kind of fakes out Landon, and local being a great leader to this team, giving them much needed life in this series.
Yeah, an incredible goal off of a kickoff. I mean, you really needed that one. As wait a second, another one coming through, and local is on a tear.
Yeah, local really leading this team here. Another kickoff goal. We're 7 seconds in, and local has made a huge impact. 2 goals. Can this little buffer keep them ahead of this Mafiosos squad that looked phenomenal last game?
Yeah. Yes, local, my favorite European. He's just absolutely spectacular at Rocket League, and I'm surprised he's in Chalice. Oh, no. Not another one. Wait, no! Crib messed up the touch. He sends it out. Local trying to get there to recover that one, and Crip, I don't know if you could complain about another server reset after that one.
Yeah, I guarantee Crip wants that one back, as they overcommitted on the side of the Mafiosos, and it looked like an easy goal with all 3 of them up, but Crip can't get the good touch to put in the ball away to give them an even greater lead.
That's heartbreaking, but not too heartbreaking, as Thunderbirds have had all the pressure so far. Can the Mafiosos come back into this one? Juicy Leaf sends it to Landon. Landon potentially with a shot. It's going to go off the backboard, but Crib misses his touch. Xeroxa gonna get the touch, but local up for it. Xeroxa trying to get a pass out mid to this Mafioso squad. Juicy Leaf off the ceiling. Landon sends it home, and we have a goal for the Mafiosos.
Big momentum swing, I feel like, came here with. They felt like they're on their back foot as local just kind of own goals the last touch, but I think it was going in regardless. But maybe a little defensive woes for them here early, as this is their first game playing with local in the series.
Oh, 100%. You know, Loco just wanted to get his third goal participation stat. So, you know what? I don't blame him at all. As Crip is going to send it to Juicy Leaf off the backboard. Local going to take it from Arc. And now the ball's off the backboard. Arc sends it over, but Juicy Leaf's going to be there to meet him. Crip down the field. Landon gets a touch off the backboard, a very nice touch, but Local has a bunch of boost and the ball, not so much boost anymore. He's going to get a touch, not past Soroxa as Landon sends it out, but Arc there with the shot potentially, but just barely off, and the Thunderbirds looking better and better as a little bit of a touch going back to Local. Local gets one, can't find a second, and Arc retreating back. Crip has to jump over a demo. No, Juicy Leaf down the pitch. Local sends it up high, but wait, it's up to a Mafiosos player. Local gonna corral this one. If there's anything I know about Local, he is a very determined first man. He's gonna chase the ball pretty much the entire game, and he's one of the best at it.
Yeah, I like it is a way more offensive game than we saw in game one. It looks like both teams are trying to slow down this game, as Soroxa will put in a great infield pass to equalize this game here, Gallium.
Wow. That is a little insane, as, you know, Juicy Leaf corrals this ball, gets a nice touch out to mid, and you know what? I just think the Juicy Leaf facilitation has just begun. You know, he has 2 assists, and I expect a lot more from Juicy Leaf, as, you know what, if he can't score, it, well, I mean, he can get assists at will, as he's been looking incredible all series long here, Chunk.
100%. All the goals feel feel like just kind of miscommunications here on the sides of Mafiosos here. Just a bunch of kickoff goals, a bunch of own goals. As Juicy Leaf will find a clear net to put in the ball and take the lead. That 2-goal buffer we were talking about seems like it may have not been enough, as Landon just gets a great demo on last there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but Mafiosos have scored 3 unanswered, and every single member of this Mafioso squad has a goal. So it's been a team effort to get them back in this one. But honestly, the only person I see really trying to step up or do anything is Local. I mean, he has just been the offensive-minded beast, but he can't do it all himself. So I'm looking for his teammates to really start to put on the pressure. As Soroxa gets it over to Crip, who sends it out to Local, back to Crip, who tries to find the back of the net. Very good play coming out from them. Unfortunately, couldn't find the finish. Arc B-ball sends it out mid. Crip off the sidewall. Going to try to get another one. He does, but it's down to Landon, who sends it deep. Arc, with barely any boost, is going to be able to corral that one just barely. Got a little scared there. Juicy Leaf out to Local, who just pops it into the midfield. Soroxa gonna leave it for Landon. Landon now in the midfield. Gonna get a shot, and oh my goodness! Alley-oop of doom.
Juicy Leaf gets another off these deadly passes. This connection between Landon and Juicy Leaf has been absolutely showing stars the last couple games, Gallium.
That's incredible. That was an incredible goal, and just seems like the Mafiosos have gotten better as the series has progressed. I mean, you won't find a team as resilient as they are. I mean, they went down 2-0 in the first 10 seconds of the game, and now they've scored 4 unanswered, and there's still a minute left. As Arc gonna find a goal, and maybe the Thunderbirds can extend this series.
Yeah, a little bit of life here out. Started from a great first man from Local. Andy gets a great bump to clear up the field. Local, like you said, needs to step up as that first man. And you said his teammates to step up, my bad. But Local doing it all for his team here.
Yeah, he's done a great job, as there's no one back in net, is almost finds the back of the net, but wait, the net is wide open. Crip, can he hit an open net this time? Yes, he can. Bottom left, the Thunderbirds have tied it.
Yeah, they overcommitted here in this game. I don't know about that. Normally, when I'm up one with Series Online, I like to park the bus, but I respect going for more goals. This Thunderbirds offense has looked a little stagnant, but it seems like they might be coming to life.
Yeah, you know, and it seems as though the Thunderbirds have, you know, they like to lock in at the beginning and end of each game. You know, the middle portion of the game doesn't really matter to them. As Crip has 0 boost, he's gonna fall to the earth. Arc ball gets a nice bump on Landon, but it's not enough. Local gets a nice 50 on Juicy Leaf. Now Arc is going to slowly turn for this one. Going to leave it for Crip. Crip pops it high. Landon going to be the first one to get to that one. He sends it up. Going to potentially go for a demo, but Juicy Leaf going to find the touch instead. He gets one. Gets almost a second. And now Xeroxa cannot find the touch pass. Crip. Arc ball tries to send in the back of the net, but wait a second. Local with the shot! And Arc with the demo. The Thunderbirds have shocked the Mafiosos.
Yeah, got a little overcommitted the last play, and here Local, another bump. These bumps have been coming out from this Thunderbird side, and it has made their scoring more fluid. They've scored way more goals this game, and it looks like they will take this game and head us into Game 5.
Yeah, that is incredible. It seems like Local has more success in Rival than Chally. I mean, it's just incredible what he can do in the higher leagues. I mean, listen, man, you know, if anyone from Nemesis is watching, you might need to just like let Local play for the Thunderbirds full time because he's putting in an absolute shift so far. And he's on 120 ping the entire match, you know, because he is from Europe. So, you know what? All props to him. But I got to say, Arc on that last play of the game, he really started to impress me. He started to heat up. And that bump was very crucial into that goal scoring opportunity. It seems like Arc and Local have a very good connection. And I think that's what won them this game, number 4.
100%. Those bumps came up huge for the Thunderbirds when they needed it the most. Like Arc B-ball and Local went for them mostly, but it really cleared up the net to score some easy goals, as both of them getting 2 goals, and both of them also had 1 assist.
Whew, that's, you know what? They're just playmakers. You know, I will say Mafiosos definitely had some highlight reel goals in that game, but it doesn't matter if you don't win. It seems as though the Thunderbirds have stormed back into this one, no pun intended, and now it is Game 5. Everything on the line. Mafiosos looking to get a nice win after beating one of the best teams in Rival. Thunderbirds looking to bounce back after having a rough start to the season with the Chally sub up. Who can get this Game 5? We're about to find out right now as Local up with the touch. He's going to send it out, but Landon, a beautiful touch in the defensive zone. He gets it past Crip, and now Arc races for it, and he might find the back of the net, but Landon just fell on that one. He tries to flick it past Local. He does, but not the way he wants to, but a great pass to Xeroxa. Crip gets a nice touch, and it seems like Landon's demoed. No defense back, but Juicy Leaf going to race back for that one. Already chaos ensuing, and we're barely 30 seconds in. Local going to send a touch out. Maybe a pass, maybe a bump, but Crip can't find the back of the net. Arc sends it up high off the backboard. Xeroxa with no boost. Great defensive play. Local pops it to the left side. Now Arc has to be the one to corral this one. 0 boost to his name. Landon sends it down the pitch. It's in the midfield. Can anyone get a touch? Local can, and he has a bit of boost to get this one into the Mafioso zone. Crip maybe with a shot, a nice fake, but wait a second, 2 of the Mafiosos players have missed. Crip now trying to control that ball. Xeroxa gonna hit it out, and this is absolute pandemonium to start this Game 5.
Yeah, 100%. Arc kind of got caught there at the end of when you're talking with 0 boost. I thought it was a great opportunity, but no one was there to follow it up for the Mafiosos, as they look like they're on their back feet, and it looks like a 3v0. Let's see if they can capitalize, but no. I think what we need to see from this Mafiosos is not to get stuck on your defensive half and really, as Arc will score. Like I was saying about staying on your defensive half, you do not want to be there for prolonged periods of time, as you will make mistakes and eventually a ball will go through.
You know, Crip hasn't looked hit like himself since Game 1, but that might be the most impactful play this entire series, and of course it comes in Game 5. You know, they call him Clutch Crip with a K for a reason. Actually, I just made that up. I totally lied to you guys. I'm sorry. Anyways, Crip gonna send it out in his defensive half. Landon over to Arc B-ball, but wait, another demo coming out. Both sides trading blows. It's about who can demo the best and who can get the best opportunities with a demo in tow. Crip sends it down the pitch. Juicy Leaf now in the midfield. Landon can't find it on target, and now he backs up. He's going to have a full tank of boost. Can he get to this one? Crip going to fake him out. Now Arc with a touch of his own. Landon going to fake him out, and now Arc can't get to that one, but Crip maybe has an open opportunity. He's going to set it off the ceiling, and what a touch from him. And oh my goodness, how did that one go to the back of the net?
Just looks like a missed touch, but it was a great setup for his team. But he gets a great follow-up and puts it in perfect place over Landon. An absolutely incredible goal. Crip has come alive in this final game to set them up 2.
You know, it's true poetry. First, the Thunderbirds were complaining about the servers, and now that they're up 2-0, now the Mafiosos are complaining. So, you know what? I just think the servers are bad in general. So I think everyone's struggling at least a little bit, as Xeroxa cannot get more than that. He's going to try to find another touch, but wait, he's going to leave it actually for Juicy Leaf, who has a full tank of boost, cannot find more than that. And Crip, he's been playing out of his mind. He's regained his confidence. He went from surrendering in game 3 to now being the catalyst for this Thunderbirds offense, a complete 180. And now Landon misses his touch. Xeroxa gets 50'd out by Arc, but a beautiful 50 from Xeroxa. Local now gets a 50 out. Landon off the ceiling, but wait, Xeroxa's already there. He's going to fake out the entire defense, and Juicy Leaf's going to slot one.
Yeah, Juicy Leaf giving this team life like we saw in the last game. They were down 2, and they managed to put 4 in straight, but the comeback from the Thunderbirds, I'd like to see them get a couple more goals. Maybe we get a Game 5 overtime here in this great series we've had so far.
You know what? I do think this series might go into overtime. I'm not going to lie. It seems like, you know, when we think one team has full control, the other team just says, no, I can't let you get away with this one too easily. Is Arc up with it? He's going to send it over to Local, but Juicy Leaf going to meet him first. Xeroxa with a full tank of boost gets another touch off the backboard. Landon with a nice shot, but Arc an even better save. Local with 0 boost gets 1. Cannot find the second. Juicy Leaf, great cut from him. He's going to get a 50, and it's still in the Thunderbird zone. Slides out to Landon. He has a little bit of boost to hopefully make this work, but he's not going to find the touch. Local misses his touch. Arc with a great save. He's been spectacular on the defensive end. 3 saves already, but Juicy Leaf, a nice play of his own. And now the Mafiosos are starting to cook up here. They have more shots than the Thunderbirds. It just depends on when these chances can get real deadly, as Juicy Leaf up to Xeroxa, who maybe gets a shot landed with his own. A Crip, a great save, and Thunderbirds are saving these shots left to right. I mean, they have 8 saves in this game 5 already, as 45 seconds now left in this game. Crip sends it down. Landon gonna be there to corral this one. He's on the backboard. He gets a nice touch. Arc B-ball gonna fake it out for Local. The ball's off the ceiling. Can Xeroxa make it to the ball? Of course he can. Arc now gets one. Can he find a second? He does get the 50, but it's not beneficial. Juicy Leaf sends it into the midfield. Now Xeroxa down the pitch. It's off the backboard. Well, you know, if Local was the backboard, as he's going to get a touch. Juicy Leaf gets one of his own. 20 seconds left for this Mafioso squad to find a goal to hopefully send this one in overtime. They have to send the entire army down the pitch. They have to go absolutely nuclear right here in the last 8 seconds. Landon with a full tank of boost. Can he make magic happen? Flip reset. He delays, but wait a second. A great save from the Thunderbirds. Ball is still up in the air. Juicy Leaf full boost. He's going to pop it eye again. Arc, beautiful touch of his own. Landon with no boost, and the ball's going to fall. The Thunderbirds have somehow won this series.
They look dead in their rights after that Game 3, but Local comes in and makes huge momentum swing for them as they absolutely stole the series, I would say. Absolutely insane performance from both of these teams. It was great to see this go into a Game 5.
That was man, I'm sweating a little bit. That was a great series. That was a great series. It exceeded my expectations, to be honest, because you know, both teams coming off of you know, some big wins on I believe Monday. So you know what, I honestly, I am very satisfied with how that game ended. But we're running a little low on time, so GG's to both teams. Congratulations, obviously, to Thunderbirds. But the next matchup, we're going to my home, the Prospect League, to watch the Banshees, see if they can get a nice win here. As you know, thank you again, Chunklay, for casting with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, 100%. You guys will get to see Banshees versus Vipers, I believe, which I love this new Vipers look, and it should be a good one for you all.
You know, it should be, as you guys might want to stick around because it's going to be a good series down the stretch. Peace out, guys.